Welcome to Yin Yoga Lifestyle. I am your host, Colette Darville. Cultivating our body's resilience and inner silence and its application to all aspects of your life. Let's become enlightened and enjoy the power of intuitiveness and creativity. You are listening to Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I am your host, Colette Darville, and this is Yin Yoga Lifestyle. So now let us take a deep, meditative breath. Inhale, so, and exhale, hum. Veterinarian Dr. Joanne Lefebvre Connolly graduated from veterinary school at the University of Montreal in 2001. During her senior year of veterinary school, she completed several externships in highly reputable schools such as Cornell University, Tufts, Colorado, and Ohio State Universities. She was one of the very few selected for a year-long internship in small animal medicine, surgery, and emergency at Michigan Veterinary Specialists, which she proudly completed. She published a scientific and clinical study in the British Journal of Small Animal Practice. Dr. Joanne promotes intuitive medicine for the mind, body, and soul to help pets live their best life. She guides families in tuning in with their pets, themselves, nature, and the universe to make better, fair, and personalized medical decisions, prevent diseases and accidents, and speed up healing, and of course, allow for a peaceful and dignified passing, better living, and better dying for all. After helping her beloved dog Hayley transition into the afterlife in 2007, in the comfort of home, she was guided to create Hayley's Angels Veterinary Services, the first home euthanasia service for pets in southern Arizona, which she felt was Hayley's legacy. Dr. Joanne published her first book titled Animal Teachings from Hayley's Angels Methods, and is currently writing her second book. With her husband, she rescues many animals of all kinds, lives as sustainably as possible, and has held 7 Compassionate Fest events over the years to promote caring for all animals, humans, and our planet, in both U.S. and Canada. Dr. Joanne currently lives in Florida. Welcome back to Yin Yoga Lifestyle, Dr. Joanne.
Thank you. Mother Nature brings us together once more. It's wonderful.
Yes. And before we start our interview, I have one really important question. How is Wilbur, your pig?
Wilbur has us well trained. He's living the life, and we are good servants.
And that is the way it should be, right?
Oh, yes. He brings us so much joy, and we make him the happiest pig on earth for sure.
I bet. And we are living in a very different world today than when we last spoke, and that was almost a year ago. How has your life changed since the arrival of, I'm going to say the elephant in the room, the name is the coronavirus? How's that change? That's okay.
Fuzz says hi.
We say puppy. Hello back.
Well, interestingly, my life has not changed much. I realized I was already living a lifestyle of distancing myself from the human race that I've always found very exhausting. So limiting my social interaction is something I've always done, and I've always, like you said, been mindful on preserving resources, living sustainably. So I used to be the one thing that's changed is that I used to be the crazy person, being mindful again of how many squares of toilet paper I would use and not wasting anything. So now I've become the model to follow.
So you didn't need to run out and get like tons of toilet paper, did you?
And I was already set, but honestly, I've always gone to the store like once a month, like
Yeah.
much less than people do. And I would always buy in bulk, save on gas, save on just stimulation from the world, and really trying to reuse and reduce the excessive consumerism that we're dealing with. I work in the medical field. I've always felt like the medical field was way too wasteful. So I've always, saved some of the protective gowns, reused them, reused masks. To me, it was just common sense because I've always been mindful that, hey, I can't take all this stuff for granted. Like we could run out one day. And here we are,
Yeah.
scrambling, trying to really save ourselves here. And
Yeah.
it made me reflect a lot on what is happening and why it's happening.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, has it affected your practice? Or you're still taking all the precautions you would normally take anyway, right?
Pretty much. Obviously I, wash my hands more. I wear a mask and gloves for every patient, and I'm really mindful of, yeah, not being in contact. I'm one that used to hug people to comfort them. So that's the hardest thing for me, is not being able to hug my, pet owners, so especially when an animal goes to heaven. That's been really hard.
Right.
'Cause-
Yeah.
but I give them, digital hugs. I look at them in the eyes. We find other ways to communicate so they know that I'm there with them and with all my heart.
Oh, that's beautiful. Um, I have read that the coronavirus is actually a protein surrounded by sort of thin layer of fat, and it is quite fragile, but for some people, it's so destructive. What do you think this virus is teaching us?
Balance. In one word, balance. The virus is part of nature. Nature is really fragile, like you said. We've taken it for granted. We should fear nature. I think the virus is teaching us to respect nature, to be grateful and not be so greedy.
Hmm.
And really, nature can destroy us, and that's what's happening. I really feel, again, like life is always about balance. Nature has always taught us balance. And uh, this is our opportunity to rise up, better become humans, fix our uh, wrongdoing,
Right.
hopefully build a better tomorrow. Scientists have studied the pandemics over, throughout history, and have realized that the ones that have the most pandemics to have decimated human populations were all due to humans, close interactions, too close contacts with animals, with wild animals who are sharing their viruses, bacterias, and humans can't handle it. So, from in the ancient times of domestication or animal farming, that caused major pandemics. Now we are in the modern world destroying, encroaching the territories of these wild animals. We're leaving them with nothing, no place to be. So they've become forced to be really close to us. And this is the same thing with the coronavirus. They're thinking it came from bats, and we've become too close to wildlife. And on top of it, how can we make this worse? Well, we've created these amazing planes that are taking all these humans, overpopulated planet. We're
Right.
taking these humans on planes that can carry a virus over throughout the world, all over the world in a matter of days. So I really feel like this is our own doing. We have pushed
Yes.
the limits of balance, and Mother Nature is trying to wake us up one more time.
Yes, because because we're confined to home, um, the you hear these stories of the earth actually having these wonderful healings, like the pollution has gone down, the ozone layer is sort of repairing itself. It's animals are having a good time. There was one, I think it was, I can't remember, I think it was in one of the Asian country where all the turtles came back and they were on the beaches because there were no humans. There was nobody out to kill them. Um, it's just these wonderful stories of,
I
and
agree. We're seeing it. Take all the humans out of the equation and the planet has been saved. We just saved it by removing ourselves.
yeah,
Simple
and it would be,
solution.
yeah. It is a simple suit, and it would be wonderful if, maybe from all this, we might be able to take maybe every year, the human race could stop for a month, just stop, or maybe 6 weeks, and, practice connecting with family and just no driving, no shopping, no, if we could possibly do that. I don't know. Maybe it's something that we might want to consider, right?
Yes, I mean, and you know what I find even better than taking a month off a year would be to just every day being in balance, being mindful
Yeah.
every day to remember because we can't go back to the normal lifestyle. And I'm hoping that people are going to be mindful, what can we do to help this situation? Well, making a pact with Mother Nature, asking her for forgiveness, asking her to guide us and for us to listen to the signs of guidance and just be okay, let's build a better normal, more sustainable society so every day we can give more to nature than what we take. And it starts, the energy can shift really quickly. It starts with stop killing the next spider that you find. Don't kill it. Pick it up and take it outside. Just that, like I'm telling you, it shifts the energy on a global level. Go plant a tree or start growing a garden. Just
Yes.
recycle, like the little tiny steps, tiny actions adds
Yeah.
up.
It
Everybody are mindful. It's amazing.
yeah, I really agree with you there. Now I know a lot of people, I mean, how can we prevent contracting the virus? I mean, it,
There
it's,
is a few things. So there is
yeah,
a few things, and some people unfortunately are dying, which could be also part of their soul contract.
yeah,
They're volunteering themselves for the greater good of the world, for the awakening of the world.
yeah,
But obviously, we need to all be careful with good hygiene and social distancing, which obviously is common sense. But what more can we do? We can eat well, making sure that we feed our body good food so our immune system is as strong as possible, sleep a lot, and taking a lot of sunshine, exercising outside. It's really the sun is my best medicine for sure.
yeah,
Um, and whatever feeds your soul, we're all different. So if you're an artist, you want to practice your art. If you're a singer, you want to sing. If you're a musician, you want to play music. And all those things are really healing for the body. You want to try to increase those vibration. You want to be fulfilled. For everybody who's are not able to work, it's the perfect time to remember who are they and what do they want out of this life, because I know personally quite a few artists who are not performing their arts. They kind of brushed it off and, well, maybe in the next life, but they're
right.
doing a very stressful job. And when you hate what you do and you're unfulfilled, that's really bad for the immune system.
Yeah,
So here's our chance, to really uh, be at our place and slow down and feed our soul, feed our body what it needs, so our immune system can stay healthy
be-
and want to live.
yeah, beautifully said. That's beautifully said. Um, our animals are so dear to us, especially those who have animals and love our animals. And um, are animals susceptible to catching the coronavirus? And I actually read, was it yesterday, that there was a tiger? Was there a tiger that
There's
in
quite
one
a
of the
few
zoos?
tigers at the zoo, at the Bronx Zoo.
Yeah,
Seemed to have symptoms too. They were coughing and testing positive. We are figuring things out as we go, but it seems like it's possible. But I think the biggest threat for us mainly would be um, animals will definitely can carry the virus. So if you cough on your dog and you're sick, and then you bring your dog to me, and then I'm treating your dog, I could
mhm,
be at risk of contracting it because there's probably droplets of, or sneezes on the pet's fur. So we
right.
just have to be mindful. That's why, yeah, not letting strangers touch our animals if we can help it, or making sure we wear gloves and we take good hygiene and wash our hands. So, um, because yeah, I think we need to be careful on all levels. And again, we're learning as we go. So we need to stay aware.
Yeah, that's really good advice. I think perhaps our companion animals are loving the fact that